Good morning, everybody. So yesterday I worked with Tough some, and he did really, really good. So of course we did some block one first. Um, some of this video is sped up, some's in real time. All of this part here is sped up. I usually let him just kind of do what he wants as long as he's not pulling on me or getting into my space. Just for however long it takes until he comes over, he gets reconnected and engaged back with me, and then we'll kind of start. It takes less and less time, some days longer than others. He was pretty good today. We probably only sat there about 10 minutes or so before he came over and was like, okay, I'm ready. So then we made a little bit of connection, and so then we start just getting to work. And I do have my foster puppies. I have 5 of them currently. They are running all around in the woods, barking and growling and playing. So when he is kind of looking off, or I'm looking off yelling, that's I'm probably yelling at the puppies. So here I'm putting the pad on. Again, like in other videos I've shown, I like to have the horse do the moving. I don't do the moving very much. He moves around me so that I can put the saddle on. And that's just how we do that part. I let him, he's checking out the tarp that I've got laying around. I got some poles on the ground. You know, I got to get a couple of pictures of him because he's so cute. And then we just gotta do block one again, ball saddled. He still does a whole lot better with the bareback pad than he does with the saddle, so we're just kind of sticking with that at the moment. I do saddle him usually about once a week and do some groundwork, and I have sat on him a couple times with it, but he's still pretty uncomfortable once pressure is down in the saddle. And so we do a little bit of warming up, some stretches. I'm trying to really work on the strength in his hips and the flexibility in his shoulders, like I've told y'all in the past. He's got some issues going on in the spine, and so we do like a lot of physical therapy work, stretching, walking over the poles, disengaging his hindquarters a little bit, just trying to get him to get a little limbered up, because he's a pretty stiff, tight kind of guy. He's nice, he's relaxed, he's licking and chewing. He's totally unconcerned with the tarp, which is great. I know that he was broke out by one of the best horsewomen that I know. He has an excellent foundation. The problem is not that he doesn't know or that he's had holes in his training. That is not the issue with this particular horse at all. He has a really nice foundation, and doing groundwork and things like that, there is no problems there with him with that. He does great. He's very knowledgeable. He knows what he's doing. It's just when there's pressure applied downward onto his spine and withers, that's when you can start having a problem. And, yeah, so we're working on that. And he's doing better. And he may never be one that I can just throw a saddle on and go. He might just be a bareback Liberty horse, which is really okay too. He's a great guy. He's easy to handle. Has a wonderful personality. So that will be okay if that is how it has to be for him. But we're definitely trying to make it to where he can ride with a saddle. Because honestly, I'm a terrible bareback rider. I used to have really good strength and flexibility also, and I just don't anymore. So we're kind of very similar in that manner. So, but we're going to do what we got to do. Again, he's doing really well with that. He did try to come into my space there, so I just got his attention back. Those puppies are over there tearing up trash. So I had to yell at them for a few minutes there. And so I give him a lot of time to just kind of relax, and in between parts of the session when he does really well, I just go sit down in that chair, and I'd cut all that because that takes a few extra minutes. I could be sitting there for 2 minutes, I could be sitting there for 10. It just depends, but he's done really well with all of that. So and like I said, he's had an excellent education and foundation, so it's not that any of that is the issue. So I'm getting him prepared here. Now this is all in real time. This part is not sped up. And so I get him to come over. Those puppies are over there in those trees to the left-hand side of the screen, playing and fighting and growling, and so he's doing really, really well with that. He's got a nice, calm, relaxed face. You know, he's not worried. He knows what's fixing to happen. I mean, he's no dummy. And he's not as taut and on edge as he has been in the past. In fact, he's kind of even waiting for me to get on. So I'm just trying to get him to line up. And now one habit that they sometimes get into is they know what you want them to do and get lined up into that. And sometimes they'll try to back out a position just to see what you're going to do. And you just reline them back up. Sometimes you might have to get down and lunge them around a little bit if they get really, really bothered with it. But he only did that one small time. Now my mount was pretty shit. There is no denying that. That was a terrible mount up. But he handled that pretty well. He's a little bracy. He's a little tight, so just kind of flexed him. And see, that head goes up once there's a person up on top of him. And like in previous videos, I have shown y'all his go-to move is to start backing up. And which it used to be bolting out from underneath you. And now he just kind of backs up, which is okay. As long as he's not bolting. And he walks up pretty nicely. And now the rest of this video is all off camera because I am terrible with camera setup. There's the puppies all running and playing and carrying on. We had rode out on the off side of the camera. You didn't get to see it, but he actually did really well. We only stayed at the walk. But he had a nice relaxed head. I wasn't really holding on to the ropes very much. He wasn't super bracing. He did really well. This was the best walk off and ride that he has done, the softest so far. So he is making really good progress. I hate that I did not get it on camera, but whatever. Yeah, he is unafraid of the ropes and the tarps. None of that bothers him. Of course, now when I ask him to back up now, he wants to get a little about it, but it wasn't terrible. So that was our ride today. So he's making progress. So hopefully I'll get the actual ride on camera next time. And there went another puppy.